Dalton, good to see you. Just first couple of weeks, what have you seen from the offense? What have you seen from the guys in the huddle, and what have you seen from the quarterbacks?
Man, it's great to be back out here. It's great to see all y'all being back out there with the offense. We have a lot of work to do. It's only June, so there's a lot of work to do to bring this offense together. But everyone's out here working and showing up, and that's what matters, man. So proud of Drew, proud of Teddy, proud of our offensive line. We're going to continue to work every day. So we knocked a lot of dust off today doing some of our first team periods. So we have a lot of work to do moving forward, man. But we're going to get figured out.
Let's go Troy Rank, followed by Luke Patterson. Go ahead, Troy.
Dalton, good to see you. You caught COVID in between vaccinations. What was your experience like? And Coach was saying he's hoping maybe 70 guys or so get vaccinated. Are you hopeful that happens just because it makes it easier for you guys from an operational standpoint, meetings and that stuff?
Yeah, for sure, Troy. It's good to see you, man. We've done a great job of vaccinating on the team. I'm actually double vaccinated now. But yes, I did get my first vaccination, and then I caught COVID. It's just a fluke situation. And it was tough, for the first 3 days. I was mad. I had to sit at home. I had to start my quarantine. I didn't have any symptoms. And then I broke out, and I was pretty down bad. And then I was good for a while and finished out my quarantine. And now I can be back with the boys. So I'd say the hardest part was probably being in the fetal position with the fever. But even harder than that was not being out here with the boys, man. I miss being out here. It's been great being out here the last 2 weeks. And our team's done a great job of getting vaccinated. I think that the more guys that get it, the better it is going to be from an operational standpoint here at the Broncos, man.
Let's go Luke Patterson, followed by Zach Stevens. Go ahead, Luke.
Hi, Dalton. Thanks for taking the time this afternoon. Many fans in Broncos country are really excited about the center position with your teammates Lloyd Cushenberry III and Quinn Miners. What do you make of both players thus far in OTAs, especially after the first day of 11-on-11?
Yeah, man, they're both doing a heck of a job. Lloyd has grown so much, and he worked so hard over this offseason. I think he looks really good. He's calling it out really well. That's who I'm working with right now. So a lot of respect towards Lloyd. I think he's grown. He's going to continue to grow, man. It's so fun to be with these guys. Quinn Miners being the rookie, man, I have so much respect for him and his story and who he is as a person. It's been great to get to know him, and I love his work ethic. And I think he's going to continue to grow this year. So it's awesome that people are excited about it. There's competition all over the board. I promise you guys, it's not only at the center position. We're trying to put the 5 best guys on the field, 11 best guys on the field for offense. And, man, we've been working our tails off. So there's competition everywhere. I think that tells us and tells you guys that we're going to have a great team this year because we have so much great competition. So I love both those guys, man. They've been doing a heck of a job.
If you have a question for Dalton, please raise your hand and put your name in the queue. Let's go to Zach Stevens. Go ahead, Zach.
Hey, Dalton. Thanks for talking with us. Is there such thing as chemistry between a quarterback and his offensive line? And how much changes when there's different quarterbacks back there for you guys?
Oh, there's a ton of chemistry. That's huge for us. Every quarterback's different, from the sound of his cadence to the cadences he goes on to the drop back to where he sets up on every single play. Everything's different between quarterbacks. You can find similarities for sure, but there's a lot of differences between quarterbacks. That's not a problem we have as an offensive line. Last year and the year before, with injuries and things that have happened, we've had a lot of quarterbacks on the field for a season. So working with different quarterbacks isn't a problem. It's a part about a professional football player that you got to be able to be used to. But both of them do a great job. They both bring different traits to the field. I think that Teddy was a great addition to our team. He's going to provide great leadership and great competition at the QB spot. And Drew, I think he did so many great things this offseason. I think he's in a great headspace to go out and have a really successful year. So I'm proud to call both those guys my quarterbacks and help protect them. And, that's what we're doing, this week and next week, and then all the training camp and leading into the season. We're trying to build that chemistry with our quarterbacks, build that chemistry with each other. I think it's more important from offensive line standpoint to build chemistry with each other first and then the quarterback. But there's a lot of chemistry out there that you got to build for sure.
We've got time for about 3 more. Brandon, do you have anything?
I do.
Go ahead.
I actually have 2 for you. The first is, how beneficial are OTAs for O-linemen without pads on? Because, we make a big deal about 11-on-11, but he still seems limited.
It's huge. It's huge. Even if you guys think it's limited, to be able to go out there and run plays against a defense, not your own guys, not a walkthrough, and they're moving around, they're calling calls, linebackers are hitting gaps, they're slanting. You got to communicate when the snap is going quick. It's huge for us, man. It's something I really, really wanted to have last year. I think it was really beneficial for me my rookie year. And going into this year, I'm really grateful that we have a full 2 weeks of 11 on 11, and we've had 4 weeks before this to really start going over plays and install and not having to do it through Zoom. So I think it's extremely beneficial. I think everyone on the team would tell you that. And today, just for example, there are so many guys that are not going to dust off their boots. Like, okay, this is the speed of the game. Okay, this is what I got to do. These are my steps I'm not taking right. And we're already growing. We're already getting better, and that's only going to get better these next 2 weeks. It's going to be great to get a little bit of a break, Brandon, and then get back for training camp and feel like we got some good work in already, and we're not starting from scratch.
And then that kind of leads to a question about leadership. You're talking about Zooms. Last year, everything was so limited, and it was year 2. As somebody who considers themselves a leader, is that easier now that it's year 3 and you've started as many games as you have to really be vocal?
Yeah, for sure. One thing that I believe, Brandon, is that being vocal isn't leadership all the time. I think that sometimes what teams need are leaders that are going to lead by example, and they're going to hold each other accountable, hold others accountable, and be that guy that's out there doing everything right, so that when you tell someone what they need to do, they respect you because you've been doing it for going on 3 years and you're doing it right now. It's not always putting your fist up and breaking down the team. That might be leadership to an extent, but I believe in a deeper leadership where we're leading by example. We're working our tails off and we're not complaining about things, and we're holding each other accountable when we see things that need to be better. And that starts with me holding myself accountable, not making excuses when I mess up, not making excuses and putting it on my center or my left tackle like that's on me. That's what true leadership is in my eyes, and I think that's what we're going to start doing a lot more of this year. And you know me very well. That's my goal, is to continue being a great leader, holding people accountable, but most importantly, holding myself accountable and getting my job done on the field so I can lead.
Let's go final 2. Eric Delala, followed by George Stoyer. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, hey, Dalton. Before last season, you were talking about how you wanted to take a step forward from the all-rookie team, how you had bigger goals. How'd last year live up to your expectations from a play standpoint? And then maybe what did you learn that can help you take your play to a different level this year?
Yeah, I'm myself's worst critic. So you guys are going to talk to me every year. I'm going to tell you a million things I felt like I did wrong. It's a lot of good things to take away. No penalties. Man, I feel like I had a good season. We have end of the year meetings with Mike Munchak, Hall of Famer, Gold Jacket. We just met with him this last week, the week before, and this week some other guys are meeting with him, and we break down all last year's tape. And there's a lot of good things that I did, a lot of things that I grew a ton on from my rookie year, getting up to second level, being more physical, being more of a leader, cleaning up my technique and my sets. But there's also things that I have to work on. There will always be that, whether it's communications with both sides, my center and my left tackle, not making, mental errors and not, sorting on a scat, whatever it may be. I know you guys don't know what that is, but there's always room to grow. I'm never going to be happy with where I'm at. I'm always going to want more. I think that's what makes great players, and that's what makes great teams. So I'm happy with what I did last year. I'm not going to say I'm ecstatic. I don't think I'll ever tell you guys that, but I made some strides in a lot of areas, and I'm always looking to improve, man. I just want the team to win football games, and that's my main goal. I could care less what happens with me individually. I'm going to put my head down and work to be the best player I can be and be myself's worst critic and see where we end up as a team, man. And if we're in the playoffs, that's all that matters to me. Everything else will come to fruition.
George, go ahead and finish us off.
Hey, Dalton, going off of Zach's earlier question about the quarterback competition, as a teammate, how do you approach that? Obviously, you want to support both guys, but you have to be careful about, do you sit at, Drew's lunch table one day and Teddy's the next day? And then how do you kind of handle that in supporting, I guess, both those guys and not leaning one way or the other?
Yeah, it's the same way across the whole locker room, right? Because there's competition going on everywhere. Since the quarterback's the main position, that might be the highlighted one that everyone's talking about. But there's competition everywhere, man. And my thing is like we're all teammates trying to be the best team possible. So I never pick sides. I'm not going to hang out with one more than the other. I'm going to respect both, try to get to know both, try to, support both for every position across the team, not only just quarterbacks. So, when it comes to lunch, yeah, man, I might sit with Drew one day. I might sit with Teddy. I don't know Teddy as well, so I'm trying to get to know him. And Drew's been my boy ever since I got here. So it's always great as a teammate to make sure that you're extending yourself to your teammates and making sure you get to know them and see their likes and dislikes and get to know them so you guys know each other better on the field. So I'm always trying to do that with every position and every competition across the board, even if it's my own competition.